Nevaeh Collins was a bright and curious 10-year-old with big dreams. Today, her heart raced with excitement as she stood at the very end of a long line of kids in her school gym. The air buzzed with chatter, laughter, and the smell of popcorn wafting from a nearby snack table. Colorful banners hung from the ceiling, celebrating the achievements of famous figures in history. But for Nevaeh, nothing compared to the moment she had been waiting for, meeting Rosa Parks, the courageous woman who stood up for what was right. As Nevaeh glanced around, she noticed children ahead of her stepping forward one by one, each leaving with gleaming smiles and signed posters. Some ran back to their friends, eager to share stories about their brief encounters with the legendary civil rights leader. Nevaeh felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She couldn't believe she was so close to meeting someone who had changed the world. Watching the other kids leave made her fidgety. What if Rosa Parks didn't have time for her? What if she forgot all the things she wanted to say? Doubts crept in, but Nevaeh quickly pushed them away. This was a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and she wanted to make the most of it. As time passed, Nevaeh noticed that many kids had left, and soon only a few remained in line. Each step forward felt like an adventure. Finally, it was her turn. With her heart pounding like a drum, Nevaeh took a deep breath and stepped forward. She saw Rosa Parks waiting patiently with a warm smile on her face, making Nevaeh feel like she was taking part in something truly special. Little did Nevaeh know that this moment would change her life forever. The atmosphere in the school gym was electric. Balloons danced along the walls, and colorful streamers hung from the ceiling, creating a festive backdrop for the event. Tables were set up covered with bright tablecloths, each displaying crafts and projects made by students about civil rights heroes. The buzz of excited chatter filled the air as children eagerly shared stories and giggled with friends, all waiting for the moment they could finally meet Rosa Parks. Nevaeh could hear laughter echoing around her as kids stood by the snack table, munching on popcorn and cookies while discussing how they planned to tell Rosa what she meant to them. Some had even written letters, which they intended to present on this special day. As Nevaeh listened to her classmates' animated conversations, her excitement bubbled within her, mixing with a bit of nervousness. The long line snaked around the room, showcasing eager faces filled with hopes of meeting their hero. Each child that walked away from Rosa returned with gleaming eyes and big smiles, clutching signed photographs proudly. Their joyful shouts filled Nevaeh's heart with anticipation. She wished desperately for her turn to come soon. Bright posters hung around the gym, featuring quotes from Rosa Parks that inspired many of the eager young faces in attendance. "Stand for what is right," one poster read, and Nevaeh found herself repeating it silently, feeling its weight as others connected it to their own lives. This encouragement filled her with determination and reminded her how brave Rosa had been in fighting for justice. As Nevaeh watched everyone eagerly move toward Rosa Parks, some bouncing on their toes, she felt like she was part of something significant and historic. Today was not just an event, it was an extraordinary moment that celebrated courage and inspiration for future generations, including her own. As Nevaeh stood at the end of the long line, her heart danced between excitement and anxiety. She watched intently as each child ahead of her stepped up to meet Rosa Parks, their faces lighting up with joy as they walked away. Some of them clutched signed posters tightly, their smiles wide as they shared stories with friends about the brief but meaningful moments they had just experienced. Nevaeh felt a rush of admiration for those lucky kids, wishing it was her turn already. With each passing minute, she felt a mix of anticipation and impatience building inside her. She wondered what it would feel like to stand in front of such an important person. Would she be able to find the right words? What if she forgot everything she wanted to say? As these thoughts swirled through her mind, Nevaeh took a deep breath and reminded herself to stay calm. This was a unique opportunity that many people would never get. The line seemed to inch forward slowly, and Nevaeh couldn't help but watch every interaction closely. She noticed how Rosa greeted each child with warmth and kindness, making them feel special in that moment. It inspired Nevaeh even more, igniting a sense of hope within her. With each child who left Rosa's side beaming with happiness, Nevaeh felt a spark of determination. She wanted that feeling for herself. As Nevaeh looked around the gym filled with laughter and excitement, she found comfort in knowing that this was not just any event, it was a celebration of bravery and change. She wanted to tell Rosa how much her courage meant to her, and how it inspired kids like herself to stand up for what is right. With every passing moment, Nevaeh's eagerness grew stronger, and she began to imagine the story she would one day share about meeting Rosa Parks. As Nevaeh continued to wait, she noticed that most of the children ahead of her had finished their meetings with Rosa Parks and were now heading back to their friends. Each child walked away with bright smiles and vibrant energy, clutching their signed posters like treasures. Their laughter filled the room, but for Nevaeh, that joy was mixed with a flutter of nerves in her stomach. She felt a wave of hope wash over her, as she reminded herself that soon it would be her turn. The anticipation hung in the air like a balloon ready to burst, and she couldn't help but wonder what it would feel like to stand in front of such an inspiring person. What would she say? Would Rosa appreciate her words? Nevaeh's mind raced with possibilities as she watched another student leave, beaming after receiving a warm hug from Rosa. As the line grew shorter, Nevaeh's heart pounded in rhythm with her thoughts. She could see Rosa approaching the end of the line, greeting each child with kindness and making them feel truly special. That thought made Nevaeh's nervousness shift into excitement. She wanted so badly to share how much Rosa's bravery meant to her, and how it inspired her to be courageous in her own life. Every few moments, someone would rush past Nevaeh, still buzzing from their experience. They shared snippets of their conversations, relaying how they had told Rosa about their dreams and aspirations. Listening made Nevaeh even more eager. She wanted to express her gratitude and admiration just as those kids had done. Finally, as the last few kids in front of her took their turns, she couldn't help but smile through her nerves. Soon enough, it would be time for her moment with Rosa Parks, and she knew deep down that this was going to be a memory she would cherish forever. Finally, the moment Nevaeh had been waiting for arrived. As the last few kids in front of her stepped away, she could feel her heart racing like a drum in her chest. With a gentle nudge from a classmate behind her, Nevaeh realized it was her turn. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, her nerves threatening to overwhelm her but excitement pushing them aside. As she approached Rosa Parks, Nevaeh's world seemed to fade away. The noise of the gym was replaced by the gentle hum of her own heartbeat. Rosa sat gracefully, her warm smile lighting up the space around her. Despite being one of the last children in line, Rosa's eyes sparkled with kindness as she looked at Nevaeh, making her feel instantly welcome. "Hello there," Rosa said with a soft voice, reaching out her hand. Nevaeh felt a rush of warmth wash over her as their hands connected. It was an unexpected moment of connection that made everything else fade away. At that instant, Nevaeh felt like she was stepping into a storybook where she was the hero meeting a legend. Nevaeh found her voice and smiled up at Rosa. "Thank you for being so brave," she managed to say, feeling slightly shy yet empowered by Rosa's presence. As she spoke those words, she could see the genuine appreciation in Rosa's eyes, which filled Nevaeh with confidence. Rosa leaned in closer and said, "You can be brave too, Nevaeh. Courage comes in many forms." Those simple words ignited something within Nevaeh, a sense of purpose and inspiration that she would carry with her forever. In that moment, walking through the crowd hand in hand with Rosa Parks felt like marching down a path paved with dreams and courage. Nevaeh knew this would be a memory that would inspire her for years to come. As Nevaeh stood before Rosa Parks, the world around her seemed to vanish, leaving only the two of them in that special moment. Rosa's kind smile radiated warmth, instantly putting Nevaeh at ease. It was a smile that spoke of strength and compassion, a reminder of all the hope she had inspired in so many. Nevaeh felt her nerves begin to melt away as Rosa reached out her hand. When their hands connected, it was as if sparks of energy flowed between them. Rosa's hands were soft yet firm, and Nevaeh felt a rush of warmth and comfort wash over her. In that simple gesture, she felt seen and valued, like she was someone important in that very instant. It was a feeling she would carry with her forever. "Hello, Nevaeh," Rosa said gently, her voice soothing and melodic. "I'm so glad to meet you." Nevaeh could hardly believe that this legendary figure knew her name. She looked up into Rosa's attentive eyes, which sparkled with kindness and encouragement. "Thank you for being so brave," Nevaeh managed to say, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling inside her. Rosa's expression softened even more, and she leaned slightly closer, ensuring Nevaeh felt her genuine interest. "You can be brave too," Rosa replied, her words wrapping around Nevaeh like a warm blanket. "Courage comes in many forms, and it's in your heart." Those simple words struck a chord deep within Nevaeh, igniting a fire of inspiration. In that moment, hand in hand with Rosa Parks, Nevaeh felt empowered. It was more than just meeting a hero. It was a connection that transcended time and space. Together, they walked through the crowd, and Nevaeh realized she was not just a girl waiting in line anymore. She was a part of something much bigger, carrying the legacy of bravery and justice forward. As Nevaeh walked hand in hand with Rosa Parks through the bustling crowd, she felt like she was gliding on air. With every step they took, it was as if the world around her transformed into a magical place where she truly belonged. People paused mid-conversation to stare, their eyes wide with awe as they witnessed the remarkable sight of Nevaeh walking beside a legendary figure. Cameras flashed, capturing this precious moment, and Nevaeh couldn't help but feel a rush of joy. "Look at that young lady!" someone exclaimed nearby, pointing toward her. Nevaeh's cheeks flushed with pride, feeling like royalty for the first time in her life. As they moved through the throng of children and adults, whispers of admiration floated by, making her heart swell. "She's so lucky," one child said, while another added, "I can't believe she gets to walk with Rosa Parks." Rosa's presence was reassuring, and Nevaeh felt a sense of comfort as they made their way through the crowd. The way Rosa held her hand made her feel strong and supported. It was clear that this was a meaningful moment not only for Nevaeh but also for everyone who witnessed it. The magic in the air was palpable, a combination of hope, inspiration, and history coming alive right before their eyes. As they neared the center of the gym, Nevaeh looked around and saw her classmates beaming with pride. They were all cheering and supporting her journey, and she felt a sense of unity among them. In that moment, she understood that meeting Rosa Parks wasn't just about one girl meeting a hero. It was about embracing courage and making a difference. Walking beside Rosa made Nevaeh feel like she was part of something significant. She realized that she too could carry that legacy forward and inspire others just as Rosa had inspired her. As they reached the end of their path, Nevaeh knew this day would forever be etched in her heart. As Nevaeh reflected on her unforgettable encounter with Rosa Parks, she felt a deep sense of gratitude and inspiration bubbling within her. Meeting such an important figure had opened her eyes to the power of courage and determination. Rosa's words echoed in her mind. "Courage comes in many forms." That simple yet profound message stirred something inside Nevaeh, sparking a desire to learn more about civil rights and the people who fought for justice. Nevaeh thought about all the stories she had heard in school about brave individuals who stood up against injustice. Names like Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, and of course, Rosa Parks had always filled her with awe. But now, having met one of those heroes in person, she felt a personal connection that made history come alive. It wasn't just facts and dates anymore. It was heartfelt stories of struggle, triumph, and resilience. Determined to honor Rosa's legacy, Nevaeh decided she wanted to become more informed about civil rights issues. She made a mental list of books to read and documentaries to watch. Perhaps she could even start a project at school to share what she learned with her classmates. After all, if one person could inspire so many, imagine what a group could do together. Nevaeh also began to think about how she could stand up for what is right in her own life. Whether it was helping a friend who was being bullied or speaking out when she saw something unfair, she wanted to embody the courage that Rosa had shown. The realization that every act of bravery, big or small, could make a difference motivated her even more. With each step Nevaeh took toward understanding civil rights, she felt empowered. Meeting Rosa Parks wasn't just a cherished memory, it became the catalyst for her journey toward becoming an advocate for justice and equality, a path she was now excited to explore. As Nevaeh reflected on her remarkable experience with Rosa Parks, she realized that this encounter would shape her life in ways she had yet to fully understand. The warmth of Rosa's smile and the strength in her words lingered in Nevaeh's heart, fueling a newfound determination to make a difference in her own community. She was no longer just a girl who admired heroes from afar. She was ready to step up and be part of something greater. Inspired by Rosa's legacy, Nevaeh began to see opportunities for change all around her. She felt a strong urge to educate herself about civil rights history, knowing that understanding the past would empower her to address injustices in the present. With each book she read and documentary she watched, she felt more equipped to stand up for what was right. In the days that followed, Nevaeh started talking to her classmates about the importance of equality and justice. She organized small discussions during lunch about the bravery of historical figures and what it means to make a positive impact. Her desire to advocate for change began to spread among her friends, creating a ripple effect of awareness and activism within her school. Nevaeh also took it upon herself to participate in community events focused on helping those less fortunate, inspired by the knowledge that even small acts of kindness can accumulate into significant change. Whether it was volunteering at a food bank or helping organize a local cleanup, each effort bolstered her resolve to uphold Rosa's teachings. This transformative experience taught Nevaeh that meeting someone like Rosa Parks could ignite hope and courage within anyone willing to listen. She understood that true bravery wasn't just about big moments. It was about everyday choices and actions that contribute to a better world. As she moved forward, Nevaeh knew she would carry this lesson with her, letting it guide her journey as an advocate for justice and equality, one step at a time. Reflecting on her incredible experience, Nevaeh couldn't help but think about how school events like this had the power to create deep, lasting connections with history. Meeting Rosa Parks was not just a fleeting moment, it was a doorway to a world of understanding and inspiration. Through schools, children like Nevaeh are given unique opportunities to engage with the past and find inspiration in leaders who have made significant contributions to society. These encounters empower young individuals by showing them that they, too, can play a part in making a difference. Learning about courageous figures in history can spark something profound within students, igniting passions they may not have known they possessed. Nevaeh's excitement about participating in community service and advocating for justice stemmed from this very experience. It unveiled a path for her to follow. Moreover, memories from school events become cherished stories that students carry forward into their lives. As Nevaeh shared her story with friends and family, it motivated others to reflect on their values and the importance of standing up for what is right. This impact reaches far beyond that single day. It fosters resilience and courage within communities as each child learns the significance of their actions. Not only do these moments educate young minds about history and its relevance, but they also cultivate a sense of responsibility toward future generations. Nevaeh knew that she wanted to inspire others just as Rosa had inspired her, emphasizing that everyone can contribute to building a better tomorrow. In the end, meeting Rosa Parks became more than just a memorable event. It transformed Nevaeh into an advocate for change and equality. Such school experiences weave history into the fabric of young lives, teaching them that they have the power not only to learn from the past but also to shape the future. Through every story shared and every lesson learned, children are prepared to make their own marks on the world.